Time to get it straight, though. What we're talking about with the forms, we're talking about, this is serious, Canadians. I need you to listen to this because you are the people that are drunk with this particular Nazi conundrum, which is based in OHIP fraud and the need to create bed fills in these huge, ridiculous, redundant institutions. Oh, I know, you help burns and fucking people with fractures. Perfect. That's all we're needed from you going forward. And again, the Nova Scotia model for mental health is best. If you're feeling homicidal, suicidal, walk in, take a chill, watch some Eckhart Tolle, eat some snacks, fucking meditate, and chat with shit. Anybody you want, they'll put you in touch with. That's the norm, and we're still dealing with this shit. But when it comes to this wellness process, this wellness check procedure, I want you guys to know this, and I need you to know it full on, 100%, with all your fucking might, you little blindly compliant Canadians. Wellness checks go like this, and I've been through it 9 times, and I've talked to over 350 people that have been put through it without a voice. Do you get me? Is you serious yet? Now let me tell you how it goes. Their rights are completely erased. One wellness check, especially from the upper echelons. Hi, I'm worried. Grab, incarcerate, sedate, isolate, and neglect. That's it. Wellness check. Grab. What's wrong? What's missing? What's missing? The cops are on the interaction and their duty is due cause, number 1. Cautionary statements, number 2. Due questioning, number 3. Proper assessment. Proper path forward. That's why we don't want you on our calls anymore, but these community service agents keep showing up right with them. The last few times I was formed, they were also on the call. And guess what they do? Same thing. Wellness check. Formed. You're not allowed to form a person until they're harmful to self or other. That's the problem. They get the conclusion within their little pea-bearing skull by completely bypassing all their procedures. Because again, we don't need to interact with the cops. I don't need to know that you had a wellness check on me unless you can prove in that moment I'm doing something violent. Oh, you have to leave. You can give me services. You can help me any way I ask. But you don't just get to form a person, because you're defaming them by doing that. And that's why we're going lawsuit. Like I said, my reporter hat has been on this whole time. And Canadians, if that's enough for you, if that's enough for the way you handle your most vulnerable, who in your deluded heads, you walk around thinking since the COVID existed, these kids must have fucked themselves over. They never got isolated. They never got a piece of ID stole every time they came in and out the back end one more time, with one less connection to society, one less resource to fucking keep themselves connected. And the promise is that these mental health people experience no restrictions on top of it. Like, your hypocrisy is like, it's because of your delusion level, and you're thinking you're doing good on top of it. So no more wellness checks, Canadians. It's really not your business. Unless someone is causing you harm, unless you can prove threat, sustained threat over a long period of time, including having someone formed because they're being harmful to self or other, you can proceed with that call. But because I've been targeted by this system, I have literally walked into 450 businesses since the COVID and had someone behind that counter running racket with the Taliban place a 911 call upon my entry, which turns into harassment from police and isolation from society. And why, unless these business owners were completely hijacked or terrified, would they piss away their customers? Because right now I'm still walking in with thousands in my bank account at a time. Again, at the Best Buy, by the time I was at the Marshalls, nobody at the Marshalls was pissed off at me. But like 9 institutions had already thrown me out again that day. It was just one of those days again. I was out for smokes and it was going to be on Daddy's dime, and I had to walk through all his hoops just to find my way back home. Yet again. And that is what's happening to these people when you wellness check them. That is a confirmed reality that you can count on me. Again, I've spent 111 days in these wards, 25 days in isolation. How many of your hardened criminals out there can say they've done 25 days in the pit? Not many. I have. This bitch. So you have credibility. You can listen to what I'm saying. And leave them alone, guys. Nobody's helping them. They're being fed government-sanctioned, illegally peddled by the public servants, horse tranquilizers, excuse me, in their fucking perfectly illegal, publicly servant-peddled opioids. Leave them alone. They have enough to deal with the housing crisis they are in. Now, this Bill 45 comes along. It's very suspicious. It's skeptical. I'm skeptical of it. Why? They get one shower, one meal, and one bed per day. That's too many pieces of documentation for these fucktards to exploit. They need their own addresses. They need a tiny home with service-oriented people checking in on their needs and making sure their access to society becomes less restrictive. Please, Canadians, take me seriously. I honestly swear your asshats are the most deluded fucking megalomaniacal group of fucktards eating plastic I've ever seen. Don't forget you're out there eating, you're shucking and jiving for the spin. You are. There's nothing else to what you're doing of substance. I'm sitting here 40 years later going, you mean I just learned at 7 the value of an open, transparent, sharing, deliberate, innovative. There is no fucking veto. It's consensus. You go in all the directions. You just organize around it. The shit we could have created. Oh, God. Again, I really thought we were into it, right? Because back then, Gordy was teaching the way of higher creativity. Sri Chinmoy had the fucking lock on that shit. There were so many teachers around trying to illuminate the United Nations and get the people poverty reduction. 30 years later, you're still figuring out how to hide these refugees and not cop to the fact that they're all Nazi inmates, just dying for a release on Nazi timelines in ways that profit Nazis. Oh, tell me those cue ball-headed fucking punks aren't out there then, please. Again, all my friends keep getting arrested every time I walk out of the house. I had 2 fucking dumbasses tagged with open liquor. Why you drink in public in this day and age when these fuckers are begging to tax anyone for any reason? I don't know. But they did, and it was with me, so they definitely got $300 tickets. And that one punk-ass cue ball fuckhead had the nerve to say to my Indigenous friend as he kicked her open beer all across the city, "You have the nerve to drink in my town?" She's like, literally an Indigenous person from this region, dude. And you're on the record as a cop saying, "Gonna drink in my town?"